Another segment of Tibby's Style Marathon. And this one is brought to you by Snacklands. I'm just kidding. It's not, but they're actually really delicious. It only has like 4 ingredients.
Really?
Impressive, right?
Yeah, they're made with mushrooms, I think, right?
I know, it's made with little mushrooms, which are supposed to make us smarter. I hear. They are. Okay.
Mushrooms are? Yeah.
All right, guys, so this episode is on the good fit. And what we mean by that is, clearly there are lots of interpretations on fit, right? Like people have different ideas of how things should fit them. And the best that we can do is make sure that we are presenting to you enough information for you to make the best decision for you. But here's the good thing. When you are looking at fit at Tibby, because we have 27 years of experience here, we have really, really, really nailed our fits. So while it may not be always the fit that you had wanted, maybe you wanted something really full and you bought something that was slimmer than you thought, or the opposite. No matter what, if you are buying a pant that has a similar shape to it from season to season, it is always going to have a similar fit to you, and that goes for skirts and jackets as well. So what we're going to do here today is really take you through the whole process, how to think about the fit, how to apply it, and talk about how the styling team will help work with you as well. Because remember, the end goal of this is to make sure that when you buy something that you love it and that you want to keep it, and that we can reduce returns and at least get rid of the fit factor as a reason for returns, right? There's always going to be things that you buy and you're like, you know what, thought I was into it and I'm not, right? That's going to happen. But what I don't want to happen is I don't want you to buy something and say, I thought I was going to be able to button this up and I can't. That we're going to really dive hard on this so we can take that out of the return equation, right?
Absolutely. That is the one and only goal that I have every day in life.
Did you want to test?
No, I
that's
do,
rude.
but then they won't hear me. It's like
Yeah.
that commercial when, Mikey's eating.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if you have guessed it, I'm still the same person, Couture, your e-commerce stylist. I have not changed. And I really want to get into how we at Tibby approach fit. It's a little bit different than what you've seen. It's not the skinny jeans from some other brand that you may not like anymore. It's a whole complete approach. It's mindful, and we're going to get into it. So, the intended fit, we've talked about it before. Not only the intended fit, how can you modify your fit? We've talked about belts, we've talked about waistbands. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, and the key thing to note here is that Tibby is an intentional brand. So when we're looking at sizing, it's really something that we've engineered to be so. We don't play to a safe middle, and we don't make those horrid, middle of the road scoop neck t-shirts.
Can we commit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Point of
I'm
view.
committed. I feel like we're all committed to
Yeah, so all of our
Very committed.
intentions have a committed point of view, whether it's an engineered oversized, engineered small, it really has a definite proportion to it. And so we're gonna help you understand that and understand how you can play with that.
Just a quick visual here to what you just said, Jen. So we really do. We go with a point of view. Remember, chill, modern, classic. That modernity is about really putting it out there, that point of view. And so when you were saying playing to that safe middle, if you were in another brand and you've got this team of merchandisers and they're looking at their numbers, you've got someone who's let's just do this, let's do this. And because
Open it
this
up a
is
little
gonna work
bit.
for everyone. Yeah, open it up, it's gonna work for everyone. And the thing is we're not really trying to work for everyone. We are trying to unbelievably appeal to someone. And so going out there with that strong point of view really does it. If you do have a wussy neckline in the future, those piss out, what are you trying to say?
Oh my God, my stomach.
Easy, really though, easy fix is just grab it in the back, fold it over, and then safety pin it. So any wussy ones, you don't have to throw them out, just get your safety pins out or stitch them. Safety pins are better because sometimes they crack and pop.
No wussy shirts here.
No wussy ass shirts.
What I like that you said is it's it's not for everybody, but what's so cool is you're here. You are that special somebody. So that's why this community,
you're
I know,
special.
I know, we're 3 segments in, don't cry. I'm gonna cry, I'm always crying. Can't do it today, but it's really important that you recognize that we're doing it for you. It's not everybody, it's for you, whoever you are.
And speaking to that, sometimes people, the creative pragmatist philosophy, it resonates with you, but you're not able to exactly pinpoint why. So here we are, here to delineate what it is about the proportions that make it so definite and that give you that sense, that vibe that you're feeling, but you can't quite grasp.
Ooh. Amy said you were smart, but
She is so
I found out
smart.
firsthand just now.
She is so smart.
So, jackets.
Yeah.
Can I
Right.
dig into it?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Do it.
Well, we all three have on,
It's like a bad episode of Gossip Girl. I don't know.
no, Charlie's Angels.
I was trying to bring us, well, whatever. We can do both.
We're a girl band.
I'm Sabrina. Okay, so that's who I always was when we played at my garage. All right, so we are all three wearing the key jackets.
Yes, Sabrina.
The reason why we're going to start with these 3 jackets is because if you have tuned into the Good Ick, which is our newsletter, or well, actually, no, it's actually a Substack. That's what it is, and it's on our website, tibby.com. And the Good Ick is a place where I really like when I have a lot of questions that percolate up in my DMs. It's a place for me to kind of really put them all together and think through a topic in a deep way that can really like get from A to Z on it. I also know it's helpful for a lot of you guys who are going cold turkey off of social media, and that's fine. We just make sure that
It's
we
on the
always check
website. You don't
Tibby
even
as
have
well.
to do social media.
I know, but you can still like get alerts. But
Yeah.
anyways, another story for another day. But in the Good Ick, the last issue was about the good fit. And I wanted to put a lot of context around the numbers. Because when you're staring at the numbers, sometimes they can be incredibly unhelpful. And our hesitancy for a long time in putting too many numbers out there is because of what Jen said, there is such an intentional fit out there. So when something is a lower rise and it's a size 4, for example, that might have a 32-inch waist on it. And the reason why it has a 32-inch waist is we want it to drop down on you when you're wearing it.
Yep.
But someone just looking at that, normally they're like, well,
It's
fuck,
big.
man, like my husband wears a 32. So I'm gonna go like 7 sizes smaller. And then people were calling me and they're like, what in the living fuck is happening here?
True.
So we wanted to get rid of like all the living fuck stuff and get right to the meat of how to fit. So the Good Fit is a deep dive on this, and this is gonna be a really good visual and conversation that can accompany the Good Fit.
Yeah.
So we've got 3 styles of blazers.
Yeah, so
right?
we have 3 styles of blazers. It's not by chance that we all have on navy. I think it's really great for you to see the difference between each jacket that we carry. I am wearing the Liam, which we know and love, right? This is our engineered oversized blazer. You're gonna expect that it's exaggerated in some proportions. I have this kind of tucked under. Maybe it's a little longer in the sleeve. Here, it's fuller, a drop shoulder. This isn't a tailored set-in shoulder, and it may fit a little longer on the body. So this is much different than
than what I'm wearing. But one of the key things too is Couture used the word engineered oversize. And what that means is when we design this, we have done everything to give it the effect of oversize without it drowning you the way something that is literally oversized, as in you bought it 3 sizes bigger, that would completely drown you, right? So when you have this drop shoulder, we did make sure that the muscle accompanying this drop shoulder was very narrow. So if you were to just go buy this vintage, like a men's jacket, for instance, in order for the jacket to be big enough that the shoulder drops and has this ease, it would also come with a big honking
Super
muscle.
boxy.
Right.
Super
So you don't
boxy.
want that. And then in order to have this length, your sleeve would also drag down. You know, you're going to be like Tom
Right.
Hanks at the end of Big. So engineered to be oversized is key. So when you are shopping at Tibby, what you want to ask yourself is, do I want an oversized look? If you do, and it is a piece that is engineered to be oversized, buy your size. You do not size up to get that effect. But the big consideration with engineered to be oversized as well is, if you'll step back, one of the things that we see is the length becomes really critical. So I have found that I had a woman that I was working with one time, and she was between a 14 and a 16, but she was only 5'1". And so we ended up putting the medium Liam on her because that really, from a length perspective, worked.
Yep.
What I want to show you is, if you, in this case with this woman, with her being between a 14 and a 16, the medium Liam worked so perfect on the length, worked for her arms, but this is what she couldn't do. She could not use this other button. And she actually had a hard time buttoning this. But the thing was, this is where you have to ask yourself questions, and you're like, do I really walk around like all buttoned up? And you don't.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. Most
You
people
don't
don't
do
even
it.
button it. So if you're not someone that buttons your jacket,
Let it go.
Yeah.
Release
What are we
yourself.
doing here?
Because what you find is that you end up giving up on something that you love because you want it to be able to do something that you will never do to begin
that you don't
with.
do already.
Right. And so if you buy the Liam, if you do want to cinch it, which we have made as an option, the button is over here. If you cannot cinch it with
Just
this
move
button
it.
over here, just move it.
Yeah.
Chop
Just move
and
it. You can do it. Your tailor can do it.
Okay, so you're wearing the Liam. What
Yeah.
are you wearing? You're
Okay.
wearing the new one.
Yeah, this
The
is
new
the
guy.
new one. This is going to be the new Max Blazer. I'm wearing it in navy as well. So this is going to be our version of a tailored blazer. As you can see, it has a padded shoulder, a little bit slimmer of an arm muscle than the Liam, but it's still not tight or fitted over here. And then it has, a little bit longer length than our Marlin for comparison.
Yeah, so I'm wearing the Marlin, and you and I, like, we're hitting it all the right. I mean, like, we're really close here in size and height. So you can see that you've got another couple inches here on me on the length. And this, Jen, actually is one that I had done a few years ago. That was one of my favorite jackets. We had ended up dropping it, but I wear it all the time, and I always was getting requests on something a little bit longer, especially when you're going out like dressy and it's the one that you throw over your shoulders. That length is really nice for that.
Yeah, and for some people, the Liam can be a bit more oversized than
Yeah.
people are comfortable with. So this is, a blazer that's going to be a bit more tailored and a bit more traditional, I would say, but it still has those chill elements in the length and in the boxiness of the cut that really make you feel at ease.
And here's one way to look for chill elements too when you're searching for something. So you see the way that these darts are here. You'll see like the side seam is kicked forward, and then this is like a long dart here, and it's very straight and maybe a little angled. What it isn't doing is it's not curved like that. So a lot of brands, right, like they
Yeah.
just can't help themselves, and they want to like curve you within an inch of your life. That's not our vibe. So this is still giving like the leanness, but also the size as well. And then the pocket here is a big deal. That gives like a sporty element.
Yeah,
Just in
it just
case
feels
you-
a little bit more relaxed
Yeah.
than the full pocket.
Yeah, like you're not really like pushing a tax package on me or anything like that. Like,
No.
it's very chill. And if you're a tax person, that's cool too. But you know, if you're a taxi type person, you want to be chilled out as well. And so I'm wearing the classic Marlin, and this is the slimmest of our blazers. I am a size 4, and that is the size that I am wearing here. And you can see when I button it up, for me, actually in the Marlin, this area is closer to a 6, so you can see it's a little tighter around there for me, but that's fine. And I got this, and that leaves it really interesting.
Should you
So-
turn around?
Yeah. All of you.
Can we see both of you side by side? Yeah.
And these in fundamentals, they always have the classic ring. This is what secures our sweaters, our winter scarves. You should, little can of chips, whatever.
Yeah, if your braid was a little bit longer, it could go through there.
Exactly. Okay, so why don't we jump over to pants?
Yes, absolutely. So just like blazers, we have 3 fit designations for our bottoms: low, mid, and high. If you guys have been shopping and you see, that we've now added size measurements to find my size right under each style, you can now search for low, mid, or high, which is a big deal, right?
Yeah, because it's going to give you, if you go on to, do you have that visual?
Yeah, so here on the Good It, you can see that we have low here, mid, and high.
Are yours in reverse?
Absolutely.
thing.
And within low, mid, and high, we have a slim bottom and we have a full bottom. And this is applying for bottoms in general. So I don't want to say it's just pants. This is bottoms. This
Yes,
includes
absolutely.
skirts, it includes denim, and it also includes pull-ons, and yeah.
So what is
tailor
Dan
pants.
wearing back here?
I just want to tell them really quick though, if you look at this, you can see that the belly button is actually the horizon point, so you can see the difference in how low it is below the belly button will really tell you what it is.
So going on to what we are wearing right now.
Yes.
We're just gonna kind of categorize some things for you. So right now I'm wearing the Indigo Denim Sam Jean. It's a new wash for fall. And I'm wearing it in a 26. My belly button is over here, so it's sitting about, I would say, 1.5 to 2 inches below it.
Or 2 inches.
Yeah. And so it's sitting right on the hips. This is actually going to be a low full bottom. So as you can see, it's sitting on my hips here, but there actually is room on the sides. I can pull this pant out. It is not hugging me all the way down.
And I'm gonna bring up Molly here, and Molly's one of our stylists in the New York store as well, because Molly's wearing a low slim bottom. And I think you two standing side by side, it's really good. You're both, what size are you in, a 27?
26.
26. So we got a 26, and then you're wearing a size 4. And a 4 equates to a 27, guys. So you can see that one of the questions that I get is like, okay, well, if I bought a 26 in the Sam, am I going to be a 26 in the
Elfie.
In the Elfie here in the Reed
And the Rodney
suiting?
too, though.
This group's on sale right now, so I'm getting chips on you. Fine. But they'll ask me if they're the same size. And so what I would say is, if this is fitting you as we had intended it to fit, nice and loose, then yes, you are going to be a 26 in this. And when you put this in, it's going to be, if you were to put this on, it would be a lot slimmer, right? Because it is meant to be a slim bottom. If you have chosen,
If you're wearing your Sam like this,
Yeah.
this is sitting right across my belly button now. If you have it pulled up, I go 2 sizes down,
Yeah.
and I belt it up or something like that. You can see it's sitting I'm filling out the pant much more.
And so, and that's the thing, like a lot of you guys want to do it, and let's watch out for camel toes. But just saying, I mean, it's a thing. But if that's what you've done, then you got to really remember what was the size that you would have gotten per the graph. Like, please don't all of a sudden let your decision to make this one more fitted confuse you that the more fitted pant is something that you would actually size down on. So don't do that.
Yeah, Amy, we get a lot of DMs about people wanting to size down, and when you take your size, you have more options, right? So that means if we got to manipulating, Jen just said that she would rise up just 1 more inch. Let's see what the difference would be if you had a belt.
Yeah, because
if I wanted to look a little bit more refined, I would maybe tuck in this sweater here and then pull the Sam jean up a little bit higher. Say I was a tax attorney. Maybe not, I don't know.
Yeah.
Jeans, dark denim, but let's see. It looks a little bit more refined this way. It's not good or bad, it's just a different intended fit.
Yeah.
Totally.
And so I do love having the options, and that's one of the reasons why we do a long rise. So even when we say something is sitting lower, it doesn't mean that we've shrunk that rise to
No.
baby carrot.
Right.
No baby carrot. So what we do is with this long rise is it gives you a lot of options on how you want to wear something. Because what I've seen people do, I'm wearing a high rise slim style pant here in the sporty nylon, and this is the new brown colorway.
This is the Felix, right? In the
Felix.
dark.
Yes.
Dark
And
brown.
so what I've seen people do
Crispy.
is sometimes they want to fold it over and give a little bit of a shorter look to it. And that is great too. I think I reposted a story from someone showing how they had done this, and this is a different vibe as well, and it makes it not look as high. What I want to point out here too is all of the stylists you guys are meeting over and over, they're absolutely here to help you out. But I want to show you that even with the best of intentions, if you send us some janky ass photo of trying something on with barefoot and doing okay,
Hold it
so
up,
like
yeah.
Shoes off.
Then you
this
have to
shoe,
really
let me
go
tell you,
for it.
okay, I'm standing in my closet and I put
Take
this
this
on.
off.
I'm sorry, I got no jacket on.
Maybe you have on no shirt.
And maybe I got on no shirt.
let's call
that
it what it
shit
is.
happened.
Yeah.
And then also, little thing here, if you do this all the way,
Yep.
it's not intended to be worn all the way. I've actually said in the future for e-com, we're not going to even shoot it that way. So what happens is this really catches here. And so then all of a sudden,
Yeah, do the before look.
and then you're like this, and you're like,
But you can't even do it. You've been doing it good.
no, because Derek's like, ratings plummet, no one's buying Tiffany anymore. Because no one fucking looks good like this. And I know it because we work with some of the world's like, okay, like a top model, right? Like they're with a leader, whoever, and they can't stand around and do this shit either. So when you get something on, what you want to do is fully style it on you, do it with a shoe, wear it in the way that you're going to wear it with the t-shirt, it's fine, but put your fucking shoes on, put a top on, and then do this. You're gonna stand in a way that is cool. You're not gonna go like this. You're gonna stand in a way that's cool. And what is really, really helpful here is when you get something, take a picture of yourself in it and make it the best picture possible. And when I say that, I don't mean download some beauty app. What I mean is there's a reason why I stand like this, okay, when I take these pictures. And there's a reason why I angle it like this, because this is how I'm imagining myself. This is the look that I want. And I'm gonna log that into my camera. And what's gonna happen is, after you've done that, put your clothes away. You don't box them up. You don't go calling Sandra for a return yet. You don't look at it the next day in your camera. Then you don't look at it the third day. And if that is really feeling good, and if your eye has evolved and you have really fallen in love with something, then I'm really glad that it's still there and you are within that return window.
So Amy, I have to ask, if you take off the jacket so people can actually see the waistband, and also if you take off your jacket, and I guess I have to join in that, that festivity, I'm absolutely prepared for that.
Love that. Can you guys cram in here?
Yeah, sure. I know a few people in the comments have asked, like, oh, where does a Brancusi sit? So a Brancusi is considered a low waist full. And that full has been designated because of the sculpting that's at the hem of this pant. So it's
Why don't we show the style?
Oh my God, this is a perfect time to show that. So you're seeing what Jen looks like here. I have on the Winslow. The Winslow is actually a mid-waisted full, and this is actually the Sid body. I didn't tuck it. The Sid body in a new pull-on fabrication, which I can alter and make it lower or higher with the drawstring.
So here we have Marie Claire modeling for us the new classic wash Stella denim jean. So she is a size 27, she's wearing a size 27 here. And as you can see, it's sitting below her belly button on her hips over here. So this is an example of a low and full pant. And this is, an even clearer example than the Sam, for example, because you can see it has, if you would take your hand out of your pocket for 1 sec, it has so much room over here in the hips. For most people, when you are wearing it on your hip bones, you're just gonna have a lot of extra fabric here, but it's not something that's voluminous, it's something that really sculpts the jean in a way that you can see you have ease throughout it.
And what I love with having the long rise here is it's really chic too to really full on paper bag your pants sometimes. So the Felix that I'm wearing literally is a paper bag pant style, but I do like the option of taking the Stella here and really, really, really lift yourself up all the way there. And then I'm gonna cinch this. This just gives you a totally different vibe, right? And then with this, maybe you wanna wear like a flat sandal or something like that. But this is just like a totally different look. So, right? So it's just good to have options. Everyone wants to play with their pants.
I gotta say that
Sure.
in this scenario, Amy,
Hashtag.
I mean, yeah.
this scenario, she's wearing a crop, right? So some people feel like, oh, it's a crop for me. Maybe I have a fuller bust. Maybe I don't want to have my belly out. You don't have to have your belly out. You have options here. With pleats at the front of the Stella, it's an extended measurement and also a flat measurement, right? So if you're a little bit fuller, you can just pull that up and it'll sit above all the things that, it'll sit where it needs to sit. Like I wear my Stellas a little bit higher. Yeah.
And one thing I want to point out too is, so like when you are at home and you're trying on a piece, can you do me a favor? Like let's just switch out real quick. Let's switch out just one shoe here on the left. And I just want to show you, when you are looking for how something fits, how something works for you, the shoes make a really big difference. And it's not about choosing the best option. It's about understanding what the different options will do for the overall look. So for you, like for summer especially, you know, when you try on that pant, someone, if you're not really thinking about this, you could think, well, I'm not sure if I like this pant because it was like, it just felt very heavy and full and covered. And that's where you've got to really lean into those antonyms. So if that pant is making you feel heavy, full, and covered, what you want to do then is go into a shoe that is absolute opposite of that, which you've done here. So really think about how to manipulate your clothing in terms of things like with the belt, but also by getting that antonym to flip how you're feeling on its head and help you solve your problems.
I think that would be a great place for us to talk about joggers and pull-ons also, because
Yeah.
often people feel a little bit like it's heavier, so you can still wear this with an open shoe. This is actually a low-waisted slim, our Scotty, where our active knit would be a low-waisted, well, it's kind of like a mid, but a low-waisted full. So that's a fuller leg, this is a slimmer leg, and that's the difference.
Right, and so the one with the cargo pockets, that's a mid-rise, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so if you are watching this in segment 1, I was wearing the Scotties in navy, and that is a really nice, slim, polished look there as well.
I gotta say, if somebody says, well, Amy, you said that's a low, and then you said it was a mid, because this has a drawstring, these are your options. So if you choose to wear this low, you shall wear it low. If you choose to wear it high, you can, because you can loosen the drawstring on the inside.
Options are a really good thing.
Options and intention.
And someone wanted to see the brand koozie. So is this a 27? Let me see.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a 27. That's the top of production. So that is exactly the way this is supposed to fit. And this is the longer length here. And so you can see this brand koozie is sitting here and your belly button is here. And one of the reasons why I knew where your belly button is because when you put your hands on your hip, that natural place that it goes to, actually put your hands on your waist, the natural place where it falls is your waist measurement area. And so you can see that you are coming below the waist here. And so this is where someone who writes to me and they say, I've gone to your fit grid, I'm not really sure where I fall because my waist is 30 inches, but my hips are 37 inches. What they're telling me is that on the grid they have a waistline that puts them closer to a size 8, but they've got hips that are closer to a size 4. So when you see something like this jean, the key measurement point is the hip, right? So you certainly wouldn't want an 8 if you were even bigger through here because it's going to drop down on you because it really is designed to fit at the hips. So we have shown you in the good fit the really key measurement points to look at to get the right fit for you. And guys, listen, I know that this might seem complicated at first and like a lot of numbers, but the thing is this is how you're communicating your personal style, which means this is how you're communicating who you are. So it really is worth taking the time to really educate, think about this stuff, and make really good decisions. Because I know from all of you, no one has ever DM'd me and said, Amy, I would like to buy more shitty things that don't fit so that I could fly them around the world and waste tons of money. That's not a thing, it's not. So really read the good fit, it's under the good ick, and then know that every single one of these stylists are absolutely here to help you really drill down on that. And I answer DMs all day and night as well. Oh, is there another question?
Well, yeah, we have
Okay.
a lot of questions about skirts, and people
Oh,
want to know
sorry.
where they sit, so I would love to just show maybe Marie Claire in a skirt, and we can compare the two.
Okay, cool. Perfect. So you're wearing the featherweight, right?
Yes. So she's wearing the featherweight, say that 3 times, pleated skirt, and this is actually a mid-slim skirt. And we also have the balloon, which is a full. And so we're talking about the bottom here. If it's sculpted at the bottom, Amy is gonna put that on for us, surprise.
Over my head.
Yeah, it's like the little doll, well, I can't call it what it was, but like this is my card trick.
Yeah.
So you'll see the difference between the two when they're standing side by side. And again, with anything that's pull-on, she has on the pull-on waistband, and Amy's gonna have on the zip-on, kind of more tailored waistband.
And I'm wearing a longer length than this, right?
Okay.
Is this,
Yes, you are, you're wearing the longer.
okay, and this
is a midi.
Right.
And how tall are you, Marie Claire?
5'9".
Okay.
Okay. So 5'9", 5'4.5". I gotta really own up to that 4.5 here because I can't budge the 5. And I'm wearing the longer length. So Marie, if you were wearing this, This longer length is gonna hit you probably just like that. So you're definitely going to be buying the longer length. If you were to buy the shorter length, it would definitely be a dramatically shorter skirt. The reason why we did 2 lengths in this skirt is because it has a hemline that really is, it's difficult to just chop off. And if you do straight chop it off, you lose some of the intent of the design. So I am wearing it in the longer length, which I really love. And this is in a denim that is, it's a very year-round denim, like super, this is super fabulous.
Love it.
Who made this? We did. Okay. All right, guys. So I think. Oh wait, we got another.
Well, this is important, Amy. I feel like.
Wait, super important.
Yeah, so we gotta dig in as much as we can. This
Okay.
is the deep dive.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna talk about the denim sit. I know a few people have questions on where this sits. I've gotten pictures where this is sitting a little slung. You're wearing the Sam in comparison with the Sid.
Yeah, so if I was wearing the Sid, it would sit, it's a mid-rise full pant. So it's gonna sit a little bit higher than the Sam will. It's gonna be closer to my belly button, and this is kind of relative too because people's belly buttons move proportionate to your proportions.
Yeah.
So it does depend, but for me it's pretty much right across. And this is, yeah, a mid-rise full pant. It does have a little bit more fabric in the hips.
Yeah, in the hip and in the thigh. So your measurement point here that's most important would be your natural waist, because we're usually measuring from there, and maybe your high hip. Yeah.
I just changed in the hallway.
No, that's
Pretty
awesome.
sure.
There we go.
Pretty sure HR is like.
I just
getting
want to
the
like
call right
also
now.
talk about, guys.
So
I want to show
wearing-
you.
I am wearing the Sid.
Oh, that's perfect. So that's
Yeah.
a great comparison between what the Sam, where the Sam sits,
Yeah.
and where the Sid will sit.
Yeah, and this is a Sid in the acid wash. And so this is different, guys, than the lighter wash that we did for summer.
The bleach.
The bleach. This one is the acid wash. It is
Iceberg.
a true, it's iceberg, and it is a true denim weight. And I'm sorry, it's fucking like amazing. It's a really good one.
Is
And
this
I'm
the
wearing
same
the
denim you
longer
had with
length.
skirt?
It's the same denim that I had on earlier with the big skirt. It is. So,
Cool.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. This is.
No, you're like,
Very good.
I'm not sorry. I look so amazing.
I love it.
I'm into it.
Really good. Okay. Thank you, Tracy.
A little bit of housekeeping. So when you're looking for your size, people have asked, where are the rise and fit? So here you have size chart, explore the fit guide, find your measurements. Most of these will link you back to the Good Ick, which is going to be your absolute Bible, or whatever book you choose to read for things like that. Okay, so I mean, everybody reads something different, so do your thing. And then we get a whole pop-up.
It's probably the Creative Pragmatist book.
It is, I know. So then when the pop-up comes up, you guys will find that we have the waist, the hip, the front, and the back rise. Cool? Got it.
Okay.
Woo! So,
People celebrating early. All right, guys. So we are going to tune out now for about 10 or 15 minutes. Come back because we've got another great segment to follow, and we're gonna keep doing this till like 6 o'clock, and we're gonna be wide awake. It's gonna be